Today is a very special day. Yeah, and I'm just gonna say it right now. This is the best electric skateboard I've ever ridden. Scratch my Ray-Bans. Can you see? Massive scratch. So today might be a little bit of a long video, so I'll put chapters down below. I just don't think there's going to be any other way around it because it's such a good board and it's got so many features I want to show you and talk about. So I apologize for the length. If you just want the action stuff, scroll forward. But let's talk about the board and let me show you why I love it so much. Alright guys, so today is all about Aries X1. Super excited to be filming this one today. I've been riding it for the last 5-6 days and honestly, color me impressed. It's a very incredibly built, incredibly made, well thought out electric skateboard. Let me tell you all about the specs.
Scotty. Who's Scotty?
So the Aries X1 comes in two different configurations. You've got 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. The one we've got behind us here is the 4-wheel drive model. It's running 100 amps continuous discharge. Now it's not a hobby wing, it's not a Lingy, it's not a Vesk, it's their own custom built, custom designed ESC. It's Fox, so it's very smooth, feels very natural. It's hard to explain unless you try it. When I first hopped on it, I was like, wow. This thing is just really nice to use and ride. Now the trucks are CNC milled, they're 11 inches wide, and these trucks are probably the focal point, the talking point. These things look like they've been taken off a board from today, a TKP truck, sent forward to the future about 30 years, redesigned and sent back. These things are just beautiful. They look amazing. They're fully CNC milled. You can still see the machine marks where they've been done, and they carve amazingly well. Now they come fitted with 95A durometer bushings, and that just lends itself to that style of truck. It really does have a beautiful flow. As far as the battery, it's got the Molicel P42As. It's a 14S4P configuration, so a very big battery. Just a little bit over 16 amp hours, 870 watt hours, I think. It's going to give you very good range. Now the deck comes in two different styles. You can get a forged pattern or what they're calling a football pattern, a carbon fiber. I think the football pattern is the nicer looking one of the two personally for me, but I wouldn't actually call it football. I would call it snakeskin. This thing looks really cool. I really like it. When I first saw the picture, which one do you think looks best? I instantly gravitated to their football pattern, but I'm going to call it the snakeskin. The shape of the deck is, honestly, they've got just the right amount of W concave going down the center, and the concave on the side, on the heel and toe, is just, it locks you in. And it's got this massive big drop down, which I'll show you when we're riding. It just holds your feet in place. And bringing it all together with the battery, the ESC, the deck, the trucks, everything, are those massive motors. 6384 motors, there's 4 of them on this board. Obviously the 2-wheel drive has 2, and they do really perform well. You can feel the motors really just performing to the ESC. It doesn't feel underpowered, they don't get hot. It's got 4 speed modes, so low, eco, sport, and sport plus, or sport turbo. So let's get the helmet, let's go for a ride. There will be chapters down below because this will be a slightly longer video than normal because there's so much to show. If you get bored, you want to see the good stuff, skip forward. And really quickly before we go ride, they've given me a discount code. So if you use Scott D at checkout, and the first 3 people to use that code will also get a free accessories pack. Now that accessories pack is actually valued at about 300 bucks. And it comes with a couple of spare rear tires, a heap of belts, some really nice, about 120 mil rubber wheels. It's got some additional motor guards, some additional grip tape. It's got some lights, some light brackets. It's got so many little extras in there. It's such a good kit. And the first 3 people to use Scott D at checkout get that chucked in for free. Alright gang, let's start the official review on the Aries X1. If you are new here, my name is Scott Davies and I love to review PEVs and a little bit of tech every now and then. If at any time during this video you're liking what you see, hit the thumbs up. Now if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We've got loads of really cool PEVs and tech videos coming out over the coming few months. Let's do it. All right, the first thing we have to address is the truck and bushing combination. The 95A paired up with these TKP trucks from the future is just perfect. You can have so much carve and fun, but then when you want to hit speeds, they're virtually wobble free. But the way they react with that 95A bushing is just really nice. Super carvy, have loads of fun, but it just keeps returning you to center really smoothly without without any sort of, I guess, seesaw feeling. It just feels like you're floating and flowing. It's really nice. Moving on to the wheels, it's nice to see a company not just put all the R&D into the motors and the ESC and finding the biggest possible battery that they can stuff in. These guys have gone and made their own wheels as well. They're CNC machined and they're really sexy. They're a good size as well. And the tires on this is just the perfect combination when you link it to those trucks and those 95A bush ends. Let me show you the wheels. These things are just, I don't know, the perfect match made in heaven. How these guys made this board as a first attempt still amazes me, because it feels like a really mature company that has made mistakes and learned from them. Not to come out with this as their first ever board. It just feels premium. Okay, now let me show you the acceleration on this board. I'm not going to put it in top speed, so the sports turbo. I'm going to put it in sports because that will surprise you enough. We can't go full speed because we are in the city, and lately we've had cops out here with radars, but I'll still give it a burst so you can see how quickly the speed climb. Now, as I mentioned, we're not in sports mode. We're in sports mode, we're not in sports turbo mode. Straighten up a little bit. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. There you go. That's the burst of acceleration right there. So that was well over 44k an hour, and that's super fast. So, and those front wheels spun, and that's not in sports turbo mode. Woo! 44, 45, it says on the remote, but this thing has balls. And of course, if you've watched this channel long enough, you always say, I know with a whole lot of go, you have to have a whole lot of woe. So let's test out the brakes. We'll get up to a pretty decent speed because I know these brakes are amazing. Now I've set them to 50% on the remote control, just to show you how well these perform. Now I'm glad it's got the drop down because I can lock my foot in there. Alrighty, here we go. So now we're sitting on 35 kilometers per hour. I'm just gonna find a landmark to hit the stop on. There's some checkers coming up here. I'm gonna hit the brakes at the end of the checkers. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, brake. Now I didn't do the strongest brake possible, but 1, 2, okay, 3 lines. So it's pretty powerful, and that's 50%, so you can do a lot stronger. I reckon you could definitely lock up all 4 wheels if you wanted to. That was fast and smooth and fun. Oh man, I love this board. I'm sticking by my statement at the beginning. The best electric skateboard I've ever ridden. All right, before we end, let's go and do the hill climb now that we've used a fair chunk of battery. We're down to about 60%. Let's go to the hill. Let's go to the hill over by Fallon's. That's that steep one. We took the AIB up. This thing is just gonna eat it. I'm not even gonna put it in top speed mode. It's gonna fly up there, I guarantee it. Okay, so we're down to about probably 60% battery. So let's do the hill climb. We're at the one that's right next to Fallon's, the one we did the AIB up last week. So it's reasonably steep. A lot of production boards won't make it up here. Some will, but I think this one will conquer it even with a half depleted battery, or almost half depleted battery. So I'm gonna put you down on the board. We're gonna come up to the hill. I'm gonna come to a complete stop and then we'll start. Okay, so this line is the start of the gradient. So just stop there. All right, there we go. Now I'm not on full acceleration, just FYI. Woo, woo, woo. Look at this. Now about here, the AIB was doing 7 and we're on 35, 36. I'm not on full acceleration at all. Wow, okay. So no issues at all with hill climb. I think their claim of 40% is 100% easily achievable, even with a 100 kilo rider like myself on it. And that's at 60% battery. Alright gang, I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the Aries X1. Super impressed. As I've said throughout the video, everything about this board is just well made and well thought out. They've used quality parts and they just seem to really understand how to build an electric skateboard. We've got a couple of other videos coming up on the Aries X1. We're going to do a high speed test, we're going to do a range test, and we'll probably do a couple other tests as well, maybe with some street wheels. Those small rubber wheels that come in the accessory kit. We'll put them on and just see how the board performs. Something really nice I didn't talk about this board during the ride is the deck shape. And that's because with that massive 14S4P, you would expect it to be super bulky. But somehow they've kept the width, or the girth, if we're talking about decks, really nice and thin. Let me show you really quickly. So the girth, or the width, the depth, however you want to call it, the thickness is not thick at all. It's actually quite thin. So really big positive for the deck shape. As we mentioned, more videos coming up on this board. So if you've got anything else you'd like to see, comment down below. If you've got any questions or concerns or anything you've seen that you're not sure about, let me know. I'd love to answer every single question about this board. Don't forget we've got discount using Scott D as the code. The first 3 people to use that will get the free accessories kit. So first 3 people to order using Scott D will get that. I think it's a $299, $300 accessory kit included for free with the skateboard, which is really cool. But let's head back to the car now and do the SWOT analysis. It's going to be a very quick one. There's so much to love about the board, but there is one thing I don't like, and I'll tell you very soon. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The strengths, everything about it. The deck shape, the battery size, the motor size, the fact that there's 4 motors, even the 2-wheel drive one has really impressive specs. The custom ESC, the beautiful remote, those future TKP trucks, they're all CNC milled. The CNC milled wheels, the 200mm AT tires are a perfect combo on this thing. The grip tape, it's just everything about this board, and I know I've gone on about it throughout this video, everything about this board is just well thought out and really well designed. Weaknesses, 0 weaknesses. Some people might say the price is a weakness, but you do pay for what you get here. This is, I think, $2,399 for the top spec 4-wheel drive. I think that's fine. Now let's talk about opportunities, and there is one, and it's been bugging me. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to pull over here in the shade so you can see it properly. The charge port on this. Now, first of all, when I first wanted to charge this board, I couldn't find the charge port. Looked underneath, looked on the side, Looked in the trucks like the X1 Max Pro, whatever it's called, couldn't find it. Finally found it after looking. It's actually here in the top of the base plate, which is kind of a cool place. But here's my pet peeve, here's my opportunity for them. Let me put this down. So you lift this up. Oh, see, I can't even get it now because I bite my fingernails. Okay, once you've got that open, no worries, you charge it up. When you go to close it, it's a pain. If you want to close that quickly, there is no quickly closing this. I'd love to see this magnetic or somehow make it close easier. Yeah, got it, with a bit of force. Really cool place to put it, really cool idea, but that's my one opportunity for this board. Fix that charge port cover. And the last one while we're here, threats. Are there any threats on this board? Well, only that you're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna go very, very fast. And I would say be very careful when you ride it. The acceleration and the braking is very, very strong, very, very aggressive if you want it to be. You can always adjust the brakes down, but even when this comes standard with 50% braking, if you're not used to it, it will throw you forward. So be careful, take your time. This is a performance board. All right guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't already, make sure you've hit that subscribe button to see lots more content, especially around the Aries X1. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. We'll have a few different little discount codes coming in the near future, and maybe a few different little deals as well, little giveaways. So make sure you don't miss out on those videos. But gang, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, skate safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you on the next video.
Scotty. Who's Scotty?
Oh, today. Deck. Love to revive, what the